Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about Thomas Wood, former Hells Angel who passed away with Repo Rod. Did other members from other charters see that, and what happened with them?
Oh yeah. Like the next day was bad. Again, those guys they never went back down to the run site. They became invisible the rest of the next. I think it was like 2 more days when we were down there. They became invisible. It's like I can remember them being do not leave the hotel room. Don't go anywhere. Don't do anything. Don't talk to anybody. You know, this was a USA run, not like an East Coast or what. This was a USA run that they give a national television crew interview. Full, yeah, we're this, we're that. We're not this kind of people, and people, might be afraid of us in town. And it was a big like summer attraction town where we were. Kids, families, everything, and we were down at this big campground. It was rented for the whole thing was rented for the USA run. And I'm just like, oh man, these guys, I can't believe what they just did, and it was a couple hours after that, I think the guys that were actually still back in Philly were phoning like, what the hell did the 2 of those guys do out there? Why didn't you stop? How are we gonna stop them? We're down at the run site. They're up in town, walking around in town, and there's a news crew there. And they just openly give this interview. You didn't see no other Hells Angels from any state in the USA giving television interviews, did you? No, but they were.
Did they get booted for that?
No, I think they had a little problem when they came home because of it. Should they have been booted? Oh, yeah, absolutely. It just... everything stacking against you, and you're completely making idiots out of yourself because of those people that are around you. I joked at one time. I said, well, why are they still here? And another dude joked, they're shields. I said, what do you mean they're shields? They're so stupid, you just pull them in front of you when somebody shoots at you. And we don't care about them. Let them go because they need to go. But we're just keeping them because they're shields.
Man,
I'm like,
that's wild. They're shields. Wow.
Yeah. They were always out there doing something stupid. Like the night that the Clubhouse in Philadelphia got raided. I was the only motorcycle, absolute only motorcycle that showed up for church. It's like I pull up and I'm running late and I'm like, there's only like 3 or 4 guys out front. I'm like, where is everybody? Oh, you didn't hear? I go, hear what? Oh, there's law enforcement everywhere. I'm like, there is? It was 20 seconds after. Man, the street was just swamped. These 2 idiots, man, the cops went in. We had a pretty badass dog if you went in and he didn't know you. And other than that, man, he was like, the kids across the street used to come over, and actually, like, he was an escape artist. He would get out, climb over the fence, run down. The neighborhood watch lady used to call us, hey, Bobo's loose. Don't worry, I got him in my house with me. And he was like this bull mastiff. But she'd be like, I got him in the house. He's laying up on the couch. And all the neighborhood kids used to play with him. One little girl loved them, used to always come over, play with him. Can we take them for a walk? They would walk him like down to the end of the block and back or something. The Philadelphia cop goes to go in, and I can remember him going to draw his weapon and going to shoot the dog. And I jumped up off the, man, they had us over the hood of the car trying to cuff us up. I jumped up, I ran in, I jumped on top of him. I'm like, fuck you, shoot me, you ain't shooting the dog, because law enforcement has a habit of going into HA compounds and other motorcycle club compounds and shooting the dogs. Offered to save his life, and he was a good dog, man. I actually, after everything was done and over, a guy that was a prospect in Philadelphia, after he was up there when we were all put out, and when he saw what happened, he called me up. I said, hey, man, and I was friends with him for probably 15 years at that time. I'm like, man, you can't be calling me, And he goes, no, I got to call you. He said, after what they did to you and the other guys, I can't be here. He said, I want to turn my stuff in, but I want you to go with me. I'm just not comfortable going myself. I'm like, yeah, man, if that's what you want to do, you know, think it over. Because he was close to, you know, being able to step forward and hopefully being patched. And he said, no, I already thought it over. I'm done. I got everything together and already called. And I said, yeah, man, I'll go with you. And we went out there and he wound up leaving. It was a former York County member, John, that became Pennsylvania Nomad. And he turned everything into John. Well, no issues with John. You know, I was like, man, you didn't have, you know how close you were and you're going to regret it. You know, you worked a lot, very hard to get as far as you got. And he goes, no, he said, that's not brotherhood. What I saw go down. Yeah, actually, I think he passed in like 2015 or 16 from a massive heart attack. But I was jammed up then. I used to talk to him frequently. You know, I'd call him when I had phone time and stuff. And I wound up calling him one day, and his old lady picked the phone up, and she said, I've been waiting for you to call. And, you know, he passed away. I was blown away. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, he died of a massive heart attack. A couple of weeks before that, she had found him on the basement floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just never know.
No, but Bill, that's, you know, I was put out. Some of the other guys was put out. He put a lot of time in, a lot of time. And he was close to being brought up to be patched. Oh, we're going to talk, you know, he's got 15, 18 months, whatever it was, involved, wrapped up there. True brotherhood is when a man called me and said, you know, after what they did to you, I can't be a part of that. You're my friend, and I'm going to continue to be your friend, and I'm getting out of it.
Hey, it shows you that they're all not the same, you know?
No, they're not all the same, but the nature of the beast. I can remember being told when I first came around, I think I was down in the Carolinas somewhere, and a member that I was talking with, and he told me, he said, you know, Big Red Machine is a steamroller. Reach up and grab on and hang on as long as you can. And when you can't hang on no more, it's going to run you over, and just keep right on going and never look back. And kind of how it is.
It is how it is. I think a lot of people might think, oh, it'll stop working because of me, but it's not the case. It's got its own, like, it's its own thing, and it moves on with or without you, right?
Yep. You know, like we touched on it I want to jump on it just for a second. When Pee Wee and I together did that podcast with you, we jumped on it. You know, there's a thing out there, and it just doesn't have to be X1 percenters. It primarily is, and it doesn't matter where you were, what organization you were with. If you're out, you're done with that life, get a hold of us, because we got something going on. And we get together, we have a good time. There's no animosity, and man, there's a multitude of different guys where when we had that patch on, they were not our friends, and now they're family.
So you take something away from it, regardless of what happened in the past.
Yep.
But you got to make it clear that you guys don't mess around with people who are still involved with the motorcycle club.
Not at all. If you still have involvement with members and, you know, the organizations, keep on rolling. We're not interested. That's not what we're about. If you hide it and it comes up later, man, you just go on your way.
Keeps going on without you.
Right. Correct. Yep. You know, I think Pee Wee and I, we talked in your podcast. I think it's around 150 guys right now.
Yeah, quite a few people reach out to me to get in touch with you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been in contact with some guys since that time. But again, you know, I'll throw it out there, you know, if you were involved in one of them and you're truly done with it, I mean 110% done with it, man, and you got no feelings either way, go ahead and reach out to us, man. We just, we get together at different times throughout the year, or different places. We have one big summer run that Pee Wee hosts, and it is an awesome, great time. Yeah. I can't say anything better than, like, Pee Wee really puts it out there, does a lot to put it together. It's a really good thing. And to be able to sit, side by side with guys that wore a different patch that you would have been not friendly with at that time. It was a little strange the first time. I got to say that. It was, for me, I was uncomfortable because I knew some of them from different places. But it's, you sit down and you start talking to these guys, and they're just as regular as you and I. And that's a life that we live that we don't live anymore.